Hello, hello, hello. Today I will be going over the AMX 13105, the Tier 10 French light tank. And we're on stepper. We go for the most standard, simple bush out there, the middle one, and see what we can do with it. We have a EBR and a T100 LT on the enemy team. And it's very important when you go to this bush that you go for either the left or the right bush. You see there's a small gap between them. Oh, there's an EBR. But there's a small gap between the bushes, which you kind of want to stay out of. So you kind of want to line up with either the left or the right bush, depending on where you want to block the view. Most likely you will always want to try and block the view from the tank destroyer to sit in base. But here we're gonna sit and wait for this EBR to maybe... Yeah, he's taking some shots. We have someone sniping. I think it's the chieftain behind us. Yeah. It looks like the chieftain behind us. Yeah. And we can take out the EBR. Oh yes, oh yes. Ooh, the filthy EBR, man. Who took this AMX 13105 as a top tier French light tank out there. Ruined it for this little machine. Which I personally quite enjoy, actually. It can be quite tricky with the 3 shots only that you have in the tank. You can't really take out another light tank when you have a DPM fight or a flip fight or whatever kind of, you know, face-to-face fight that you have. So you need to have always this distance, always need to be able to run away or get behind a cover or be close but not close enough. And, well, since we're getting spotted in the middle, we're not very unsure which or who spotted us. We're guessing it's the T100 because, well, always a counter scouting on us. So we're gonna just screen around on the right side, see if we can do a spotting check for the middle bush, just to see if it's there. Go up and we wait. Roughly have 3 seconds. Well, he's not there. So he must be on the other side. While we're probing around here in the base, we kind of just maintaining, sort of, so no one maintaining the area around here, so no one can just sneak up through the middle or strike over the field. Whoever would strike over the field, I don't know. But our team seems to be having a bit of a trouble over here on the 1-2 line, while the team on the 8-9 line seems to have it quite under control, considering how many tanks they have. Chieftain here and the E4 seem to have held out in the beginning. Chieftain seems to took a lot of punishment for the plays he have done. But let's see if we can have some good cupola shots or side shots on these heavies. They're quite a bit of armor for our tank. We have 234 pen with APCR, so I guess it's roll the dice to see if we can have RNG on our side. A cupola? No, that cupola is too strong for us. We're getting a little bit pushed back. Our E4 is hanging back. Oh, there we go, side shots. Then we don't need to have a 300 plus pen. Oh, light tank incoming. Pinging him so more people might respond. Chieftain looks for him. E4 blew up behind us. Well, that means this flank is entirely open. This T100, I don't know if he thought there was some artillery or I guess he just wanted to see if he could kill the Grilla. Thinking of ramming, but I remind myself that I'm a lightweight light tank. So that T100, he would love to ram into me. Need to avoid the 55. Light tank is incoming again. We can't really pay attention, but we try to stay out of his spotting. Same with the 55. It seems like we should be unspotted, considering the light tank did not respot us. We have the lower plate, but phenomenal accuracy. Ah, if the E4, if he could just have been destroyed a little bit further ahead, maybe I would have had an extra pen there. But hey, you gotta take all the shots that you get, especially with a light tank. You can set up yourself for many opportunities, but a lot of times you're kind of forced into shooting. Let's see if we have a badge. We're loading heat, so we have a little bit better pen. Oh, there we go, 705 turret turret, 140. Good distraction by him. And the last shot, oh yeah, and a dodge against the Type 5 there. Oh, that was close, that was close. If that Type 5, I think, it was the regular gun, not the HE gun, because that HE gun would have leveled us into a smear puddle of goo. Alright, but we got a good commanding position up here now. We have a Badger side, E5. Type 5 is tough. We're loading APCR. We don't want to spend all our heat immediately. Trying to see this E5, Type 5, but... no cigar. Seems like the Badger is coming back. Yes. Seems like he's lining up for us. 1... 2? What? Okay, alright. 2 out of 3 long range. Sure, we should have 3 out of 3 there, I think. But the RNG said, nah. And, you know, that's what you can do against RNG. You can't argue. Well, you can argue, but RNG never listens. Oh, damn. 430U peaks up. And I don't know how I managed to stay unspotted here. It must be in the tree lined up with him perfectly. But this 430U has no idea we're up here. Oof. Easy pick up. Not even spotted. Oh, well. Gosh darn it. We got spotted. See if we can finish off the last shot here. Type 5 side turret. And... the shell velocity on this tank is a little bit lackluster. I don't really like it that most of these tier 10 lights have, except, well, EBR. And few shells of the lights. That are having a kind of a good shell velocity. The shell velocity this is kind of lacklustering. I wish they... Oh, on the side, easy pickup. Someone took the kill from us. But hey, it opens up the entire flank for us. We can make sure this 1-1B does not get out there freely if we're faster than him to get away. But it seems like the 1-1B actually realizes it and has to run away quickly as well. But back to the about the tank. I wish... the only few things they need to really change for this tank is maybe a little bit faster reload so you can maintain this battle presence more. And that the shells are flying a little bit faster, because it can be really tricky sometimes to land these shells when you are fighting on mid and long range distance. That's the only few things I feel like they need to tinker with this tank. Only tinker, nothing major. Alright, let's see if we can find this 1-1B. If it's X... Oh, there's an STRV. And we got one. And 1-1B actually kept on pushing. And we do 1, 2, desperate shooting, panicking a little bit. And we are... we have no support, no backup. We got a weave and dodge. Oh, there we go, dodge, man. Best move you can do. Lean to the left while someone is chasing you. Hiding behind the rocks to see if can this 1-1B actually... He is actually rushing us. Huh. Alright. I guess cue the music. Oh my god. Yep. He is going. He is going. And does it continue? No, he does not. Okay. Welcome, 1-1B. My team managed to catch up to me. And a lucky fire and we pick him out. But I feel like we would have got the kill anyway. Under 1-1B. He did turn right there, so it would have been a last simple shot. And we thank the Leopard for helping us. It's mighty fine of him. We needed that help, because without his help it would have been a bit of a problem. Since the 1-1B is quite of a fast tank these days. Let's see if we can find the STRV again. We are a little bit careful. We wanna move more to the right side, to the red line here. Oh, Jagdpanzer. Move to the red line here. Well, blue line for me. Because we have some bushes we can work with. Shouldn't we have few amount of shells? So we can't really... Oh, this is good for us. Unlucky. That one flew high. We might have turned a lot more as well. Because the penetration on all these light tanks is a little bit low. But it's also good in a sense that... you don't, the tanks doesn't fall into this, oh, I'm just gonna sit and snipe because I have good pen and I have no armor type of tank, so you have to move up and be a little bit closer. I kinda like that. And I feel like that's why also the light tanks doesn't have good shell velocity. Which I don't like. I think they should have a little bit better shell velocity. See if this Jagdpanzer do full broadside. Oh, full broadside. Lining up the shot. 4 aiming there, I think. Alright, we got one shot here. Yeah, we can reload here. Ah, I should have had that first shot there. That was a little bit poor aiming. Was unsure how far forward he would go. Seems like the Jagdpanzer is staring us down, but here's the bushes I was talking about. And will they pick him up, or do I have to? He used a tree here as well. Could have maybe used this tree earlier, but then again, we just sit here and look at him. There we go. Pick him up, and immediately we reload. Even though the reload is standard 26 seconds, it's go down to like 24, 24-ish. We don't want to go on the right side here, because then the Leopard, if he, well, he is behind here in these bushes, because then he can actually just shoot us immediately, and we don't want to be a one-shot, because we want to, well, push in on him. Gotta keep your eye out on me, Leopard. I know you got hit from the other side, but can't just look away, because then we strike quickly. Even though you have this 25 seconds reload, you can actually reload really often with this tank. Just this 1-2 shots. I'm asking this EBR to help me because he's full hit points, but for some reason full hit point EBR is still afraid of 2 tanks. And I don't know why he's not just pushing in. So I guess I have to be first one in. And I'm questioning what is this EBR doing. But there we have it. Good solid little game. AMX 13105. With 6 kills. And good amount of damage. Almost 7,000. Holy crap. And 2,000 spotting. This was a fun little game with the AMX. We showcased both the running away, going back in, attacking, distance, close-up fighting, and yeah, pretty much a good little fight. All right, let's get over to some post-stats game statistics, shall we? And here we have the post-game statistics analysis of the game. We have 6,860 damage, 2,137 spotting, 6 kills. We aced it. Pretty nice. A high caliber and a light. That's nice. That's nice as well. We got a good XP, 1,453. We kind of carry this with the Chieftain on our side, I would say. We helped out quite a bit with the damage department in the light, which comes handy from time to time. And we lost some credits, but to be fair, we shot a lot. Alright, so now let's get over to some equipment, crew, and field modification, plus consumables. Welcome to my garage with the AMX 13105, where we will go over the crew, equipment, consumables, and field modification. For the commander, I will pick Brothers in Arms, 6 Sense, then Recon Awareness for the full view range and for the massive view range, and then Concealment and Repair as the last. I just had the opposite because, well, I don't know why. I can't remember. For the gunner, simple here as well. Brothers in Arms, Snapshot, Concealment, Repair, and then Firefighting. And then I guess you should have safe stowage before firefighting. I have Adrenaline Rush because I think this is one of my older crews where I thought, oh, Adrenaline Rush is great on a light tank because it would be super useful on this tank. And I can tell you it is not. It's just something that's lingering around. But hey, when it kicks in, it kicks in. For the driver, simple as well. Brothers in Arms, Concealment, Smooth Ride. And then I have Preventive Maintenance because you have this huge front of the tank, which is a big engine, which you can get set on fire when they hit your fuel tank, and then fuel tank erupts into the engine, and then you're on fire. So Preventive Maintenance actually helps out a fair bit with this tank. I have clutch braking and then repairs. I think you can pick the repairs before clutch braking, and also clutch braking for off-road driving. Like I said about the gunner, I think this is one of my little bit older crew. But it checks out still. Clutch braking, it helps when you turn. But off-road helps more when you're moving around the place. As for the crew, let's go over the equipment. Equipment, I think this is by far the better equipment of all the standards you can actually put on the tank. The optics for this massive amount of view range that you can get up with the tank. 489. Obviously, it can be a little bit more because I don't have situational awareness on 100% yet. And then you have IRM and the vert stab. This is just to combat this tank's gun handling and to improve it as good as you can. Because light tanks, you turn a lot in it. And if you can keep the aim or the circle, the aim circle, to be smaller and smaller overall, it's gonna greatly benefit you because you're gonna be easier launching yourself into different fights and you can fend off different targets faster than you would without it. But for a secondary equipment, I guess you can remove the ventilation and put in, remove the optics and put in a ventilation. But then you're kind of losing out on this spotting capability that you have with this tank, which is really good because you got really good concealment with it. I think my crew full concealment is 38. It's respectable. It's good actually. You can sneak around the place a lot, like you saw me in the battle. Well, for shells, here I don't know. I think I said in the video that that it has a little bit slow shells. APCR is it's on the subpar, I would say, in the tier 10. It needs to be a little bit faster, but the heat, it's all about just fighting this with the close-up. No HE. You never have HE with this tank, because as you saw in the fight, in the battle, we kinda ran low with the shells quite quickly. And it's all about finding a good mix for what works for you, how you setting up your AMX 105 in different fights. Consumables, just use food. No need for fire extinguisher. No need. You burn to a crisp. And with light tanks, you're not really designed to take hits, so. But let's go over the field modification, which I think is very interesting on this tank. I myself don't have any field modification on it, but I'll gladly go over it for you. First one, the engine power to top speed. I think you should take the top speed here, just so you can get up to 70 kilometers. Yeah, you take a little bit of a hit with the engine power, but I feel like this tank doesn't have problem accelerating out of different areas or moving per se, to be honest. But that extra top speed can kind of help you in the long distance rotations or when you're just probing around. I think with the engine power, the tank might be like what I like to call the twitchy tank. Like you just want to turn a little bit and the tank starts overturning and you can't really get it smooth because you are increasing the traverse speed on the tank. I had to check that this does not improve the traverse speed because that would be kind of weird. But hey, we're moving on to the second one to pick, reloading to aiming speed. We said in the match that I kind of wanted the tank to have faster reload, but I don't want to have it for expense of dispersion. Look at that, 039. It's like a tier 5. No, sorry, it's like a, it's like a tier 6 with this dispersion there. So you kind of, if you can pump that down, 25.5 seconds, I think that, what is it, a second? I think that's worth it. Because you're not in the magic zone of that 20, between 18 and what is it, 22? It's the kind of magic zone where you kind of can always stay in the front line. In a lot of the good tier 10s, you see for auto reloaders that has few shells, there's always between like 18 and 22, 23, like 22, I think. It's kind of the sweet spot where you can kind of still maintain the fighting. But when you come up to 25 and plus, sometimes you feel like you have to sort of take more space between the fights. So I think this helping the aiming circle is just superb. For the next one, this, I don't think you should hamper your reverse speed because like your mobility is very important for a light tank in all kinds of fights as well. But having HE shell, ramming damage, stun duration, protection for the crew from injuries, I don't know. I mean, if you're running big first aid kit, maybe pick this one. But I don't see this being so good because I know myself, I love shooting HE on these AMXs when I have the chance. So, and also ramming damage. Like I said, we were very afraid of the T100 in the last game. And maybe. This is, for me, I probably would not pick anything here. But if you're really lacking the traverse speed, pick it. Reverse speed, not traverse speed, the reverse speed. Pick that one. But here, concealment to view range. Here you can maybe pick, I think if you're using ventilation, you pick the view range. Otherwise, you pick the concealment. just to get it up a bit. You can also say, nah, it's good without. And it is actually. This is just like a option there. If you really want to hamper something or if you really want to boost something. If I had to pick for me, I'd probably pick the view range. Because just to be able to spot better is much more greater for me than having insane concealment. Sure, it helps when you're not going to be spotted. But a good thing about view range is that the more view range you have above the cap of view range, the faster you will break the camo value of different bushes and different tanks out there. Well, not different, but all of the tanks out there. So we actually spot faster than you would do if you had just the cap of the view range. This is 465, 455, 445, 445. Ooh, that was a lot of numbers. So if you have above 445, you can actually spot tanks through bushes, which is monumental. And that's where people go, well, how did he spot me through the bush? I was in the bush. Well, if you get close enough, you can actually spot through the bush. But anyway, a lot of bushes. Let's keep going. The last one, concealment to movement of enemy vehicles to concealment of enemy vehicles behind foliage. So this is like if they're behind a bush, or if they are in the open. Which tanks do you rather spot more? Or spot easier, I would say. And this is so circumstances that like I don't see why you take this. I mean, I guess if you're more of a light tank that always gonna go bush versus bush kind of thing, like ELC or Manticore, I guess this one you sort of counter spot them in the bushes. It's a bit what we just discussed about that. You can spot them in the bushes, or you can spot them more in the open. But it hampers your spot. Like it's like forcing you to play one way kind of a light tank with this. You still with a tank like the AMX 13105, you're still gonna be this moving around up and down, peeking over hills and moving around the place. You still don't want to hamper your view range for other tanks around on the battlefield. So this, I don't see much of a point if you're not a super passive light tank to pick any of these. I guess this one is for EBRs, which actually doesn't even have this. So, but you get some bonus here, more hit points, more hull traverse speed. Don't like it when you get that much hull traverse speed extra. That's why we don't pick the extra engine power, because this will just add to more traverse speed, and then the tanks might become too twitchy, too hard to control, and it might be a little bit of a problem. But for the attribute, or the second slot category, I will pick firepower here, so we can boost up our gun handling with IRM or vertical stabilizer, depending on which we feel more fitting. I would probably pick the vertical stabilizer now I think about this, because you don't want to increase your traverse speed, because 53, 54, like I have right now, is pretty solid, to be honest. But that's it about the AMX 13105. I hope you liked it, and stay tuned, because there's gonna be more videos about more different tanks out there. Take care, and I hope I see you in the next video. Around. Stop talking, Justin. We gotta stop, man. Oh god, we're continuing. Where's the record button? I lost it. Oh, I found it.